Good morning, everybody, and a very happy Sunday and a very happy 4th of July as well. I hope it is spent amongst friends and families and that you all have an amazing day. I am personally on my way to Palm Springs today. I'm going to go sit by the pool and enjoy spending some time with one of my closest friends who is visiting California, so I'm super excited about that. Anyways, let's do a quick recap of what happened this past week. Towards the end of the week, we had a couple of difficult card readings pop up, but where we were at last week was the energy of the sun. And I kind of took that energy for me personally into the week and being like, even if there's some stuff that I need to work through still, or there's things that pop up that feel uncomfortable towards me, I'm going to just stay in the vibration of that sun energy and look for more joy, look for more abundance, look for more presence and being in the moment, living in the moment. So I hope you all did the same thing. If you guys struggled a little bit towards the end of this past week, let me know in the comments sections below. We do have a new moon coming up on the 9th of this month, and that is going to be in the sign of Aquarius. Normally I pull 3 cards for a new moon reading. I did not today because I'm kind of on a little bit of a tight schedule and I have to get going soon. But I will do a reading for you all just for what the new moon wants to reveal for us on the 9th. So stay tuned for that. All right, so I have the cards pulled per usual. And let's get into it. Let's see what the messages are for this upcoming week. So for where we're at currently, we have the Knight of Rods. To me, I always look at this card and I see this dark shadow right here. And I always think like there's more shadow work to be done. But I think we've been collectively feeling that popping up the past couple of days. It showed up for the collective readings I did. So there's stuff kind of lingering behind us in the background, stuff, clutter, mind clutter, things that need to come up to be looked at, transmuted, integrated. And so that's kind of where we're at currently. But we're moving forward anyways. The Knight of Rods is, in this kind of forward movement position. And I do feel that it's kind of like what I said before, we can compartmentalize it, put it in a box, and we're going to get to it later, but it's kind of following us around and it will come up when it needs to come up. So I would say just like, don't put too much pressure on yourself to fix it. I mean, today is a holiday. There's a lot of fun activities coming up for me personally in my social life this upcoming week. And so it's just like, I can't get to it right now, but I'm aware that it's there. And maybe y'all are feeling the same way because that's kind of the energy I'm picking up from this card with the Knight of Rods. All right, so moving on, we have what our focus is the Fool card. I love this card. This is the first card in the Major Arcana, and he kind of leads us through all these archetypal figures throughout the Major Arcana. So the Fool is being basically like our focus is like going after our passions. Like maybe we don't really have all the answers or know exactly what we're doing, but we're following our heart. We're trusting our guidance, our inner guidance more. We're trusting our passions. We're going in the direction of what makes us happy and what makes us feel fulfilled, even if we don't always know exactly what it is that we're doing. So that's the Fool energy. That's what he brings us. And so that's a great spot. So that's going to be our focus, is really just like pushing ahead and going forward with it, even if we don't really have a freaking clue as to what we're doing. In our subconscious, we have the Page of Cups. It kind of tried to come out in reverse, and so maybe I'll just read it in reverse. And what I feel like what this card is trying to tell us in our subconscious is I think a lot of people right now are still doubting their intuition. I think that's why this is coming up in reverse. There's certain things like I still sense this like kind of dishonesty popping up for the collective. I'm going to take a sip of water really quick. Give me a second, y'all. Okay, that's better. Mouth was just getting too dry. So I sense that there's somebody in your life that maybe you feel like is not being completely honest or truthful with you. Something just smells off. You have the fish here. It's like something is a little bit fishy, but you're not trusting your intuition. I'm not saying do anything about this right now. What I am saying is just to trust your intuition that you're probably spot on, that there is something that is a little off about this person. I don't have advice for you on what to do about it. But if you guys need clarity on this card about what that might mean for a specific person or situation in your life, you can always get a hold of me, message me for a reading. I'm always available for readings, and we will book something and I'll help you get more clarity and more advice on what to do as well. In our supporting, we have the 8 of Rods, and I do feel like this acceleration. I feel like this next week is going to go by really fast. Like we're going to get to next Sunday and be like, what the hell, where am I? And I just feel like there's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of forward movement. And for some of y'all, even if it's not a super busy week, you're going to get a lot more ideas funneling in and direction coming in into what way you need to be moving in your life, if that makes sense. Okay, because the new moon coming up is in the sign of Aquarius, like I mentioned earlier, and it's an air sign. Aquarius is our air signs, and which deals with a lot of communication, a lot of creative ideas coming in. So I do strongly feel like all y'all are going to be getting a lot of creative downloads coming in as well, and it's going to come in really quickly and fast. So make sure you're have a journal on hand so you can write down some ideas that come in so they don't run away from you. Okay, let's see. In our opposing, we have the Hermit. And the message coming through for me, because usually when the Hermit shows up, it's go inward, do some deep reflection. So why is it popping up in our opposing? So I don't think that the message is don't look at yourself or don't do the internal work. What I do feel like is the message coming through is that it's kind of a challenge for us. If we normally have the response of retreat, or fight or flight responses, this card is popping up to kind of be like, I want you to do something differently. If you're normally the kind of person who conflict arises or there's a difficult situation and you want to run away from it, I'm strongly sensing that this card is saying, let's try something different. Let's stay put. Let's just see what happens. Let's just try something new. That's the message that came through today. Maybe that's just very specific for just 1 or 2 people out there, but that's what wanted to come through. All right, for the universal card, I love it when this card pops up in the universal position. We have the World. So the World card, great energy. This came up in reverse, I think, in our focus for last week's reading, I believe, and which is us kind of overcoming some fears. So the fact that it's in the upright position, I just really strongly feel like a lot of us are on the right path and we're following our inner guidance more. The Hermit suggests that too, following our inner guidance. The Fool, and it's right next to the Fool card here in the spread. So trusting our inner guidance, and when we do that, the world and the universe has our back. Our spirit guides have our back. Our ancestors have our back. So I really love that this popped up. It's just a really nice reminder that it's like, you're doing all right. You're doing good. Okay. Regardless of what pops up that needs to come up or more shadow work that needs to be done. There's always more shadow work that needs to be done. We're in the right position. You're exactly where you need to be. So beautiful energy. For the Oracle card, I have Fear. And this card is very similar to the Void. Honestly, it's just how can we overcome our fears? How can we push through more of our fears? How can we push through more of our self-limiting beliefs? How can we overcome, conditioning and programming telling us that we're not good enough or we're not this enough or that enough, And they're just fears. You can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. You can show up. We just want you to show up as you is what's coming through. So there's a little bit of fears to work through still. I strongly feel like that's why the Knight of Rods kind of energy is popping up too, but he's gotta go, you gotta get through it. So, and I think that's also kind of why the Hermit here with his lantern is being like, I'll help guide you and through this and to do something different, to challenge yourself to kind of move past these fears. Well, that's it, y'all. That is the reading for this upcoming week. As always, I post my daily reading, so we'll get more clarity throughout the week on what's popping up for us and how to work through it. Again, as always, I'm always open for readings, so please reach out to me. And I think I mentioned in my last video too that I'm going to start offering classes on how to teach tarot. I need to get together an advert for that so you guys can get a little bit more information. But if you're interested, reach out to me. I'll give you some more info on that as well. Anyway, I hope you all have a very happy Sunday. And as usual, I will see you all next week. Bye.